The last two, this was so cold. I think I wear a sweatshirt. Yeah.
Yeah. I was cold in here last night. I just wish I would have brought a coat.
If we had the breeze outside in here, now I would for a hat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You'll be staring under that for another hour.
When you're on the go, it's all about convenience. Add fantastic food, beverages, plus BP superior fuels, and you have Olson's BP in Atlantic. From sunup to sundown, we're the keep you going store. From our loaded breakfast burritos and bunker dunker donuts to our delicious Champs chicken and pizza to go, we have the food you crave. Don't forget the cold beer in the beer cave. Stop in and fill her up. There's always something you need at Olson's BP, the keep you going store, 2nd and Locust in Atlantic.
At Seed Pros, our mission is to be your business partner every day of every season.
Pioneer Hybrid International was founded in Iowa back in 1926 and is still American today. Not many other seed providers can make that claim.
We partner with you to continually push the limits by combining elite seed genetics, local infield knowledge, along with customer service second to none.
We are with you from the word go. Contact Mark Van Tiger, Gary Dinkla, Nick Knutson, or John Becker to partner with a team that puts your business needs first.
Trying to find that stuff to, we're remodeling our kitchen or something.
Go back to running, but exactly this little that is like a Shenandoah. Oh, the morning, we haven't mentioned earlier, they beat the Mustangs at Shenandoah Sportsman Park, 8-7 on June the 5th. Bogey's won 3 of the last 4. Shenandoah sends in its 6-9 season. Jack McKee joins us here. He'll be our video guy tonight and also our color man. And Jack, let's talk about Shenandoah and break it down for us.
Thank you very much, sure. First of all, the official record for the 6-9 Shenandoah Mustangs, as submitted by head coach Brett Roberts. Cole Scammon to lead off. He's playing shortstop in this one. Dalton Nathan in center field. Tyler Babe batting third. He is playing behind the plate in this one. Tyler Babe. Behind him is Levi Green batting cleanup. He's going to be on the mound for this one. Tegan Brunt, DH. For him out in the field is Logan Twyman playing at first base. Joey O'Rourke in right field. Zane McManus in left field. Brody Burdoff in second base, and Eli Cameron at third base. So, like the coach said, a very scrappy team. I mean, 219 average on the season as a team so far, but a 335 on base percentage. That tells me this team likes to play that small ball. They like to play really close to the plate, and they like to get on base quick.
And talk about some of the leaders, Jack. It's more than myself.
Yeah, leading off, it's tied actually for the hit leaders. Tyler Bade and Levi Green batting third and fourth. They both have 13 hits on the season for. I believe they're both tied for batting average as well, with 265 on the season for both of them. Some other leaders that point out to me as well: 14 RBIs for Levi Green in the cleanup spot, and as a team, only 13 doubles on the team so far. 0 triples and 0 home runs. And as a team, they're playing 86 hits, 47 RBIs, 58 bases on balls.
Well done, Jack McKee. Hey, we'll break down Atlantic right after these. You're listening to pregame at 95.7 FM. Live video stream, watchitoday.com, TV, YouTube, powered by Shenandoah.
At Rolling Hills Bank and Trust.
All my way voice of the Atlantic Trojans, Tom Robinson. Smooth as silk.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Want your back at the shop? We talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Rising, this is
Does it accord at third base, Sawyer Carroll at short, Colin. We're set. Jensen eyes the glove, and here's the pitch swung on and tip foul right side run away. Down is 0-1 to Scammon leading off here at the top of the first inning. Scammon 12 of 40 in the play. As we mentioned, hitting 250, 390 on base percentage, slugging percentage 271. Has won the double, 3 RBI. Jensen, 0-1 pitch coming in high and away. The count is 1-1. Look at the Hawkeye 10 conference. It's Harlem and North Central again. Those two teams then battling tonight as they lead the league. 1-1 pitch on the way. That's a fastball for strike, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. To Cole Scammon. Phil Nathan on deck, the center fielder for Mustangs, and Tyler Bay. Top 3 hitters for Shenandoah. Jensen ahead in the count, brings the 1-2 pitch. That one's tipped foul, same directions pitch number 1. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Softball tonight, the Atlantic Trojans and girls are on a roll. And they play Shen tonight, and they head to Fort Dodge tomorrow. They play North Polk in that first game. Curveball is in there for called strike 3. What a beauty. Dropped right in the wall.
Yeah, definitely. Cale Jensen, as you said, a great addition to this Atlantic Trojan squad. I have a feeling he's going to prove that tonight.
He dropped that right in the well for 1 out here in the top of the first. No, Nathan will step in. No score as we're just underway. Jensen's pitch is swung on and missed, and he's ahead the count at 0-1 to 8th of the second here in the lineup, hitting 205 on the year. As Jack mentioned, the Mustangs hitting 219. The pitch swung on a hot shot to short. Sawyer Tail gets the room service right at him on the second hop, fires the first from the out, and a 6-3, 2 up and 2 down from Shenandoah. You gotta like the way Jensen's starting out here, Jack McKee.
It's definitely nice to see him make quick work out on the mound.
So Tyler Babe will stand in. That'd be neat because his middle name is Babe and Ruth is his last name, huh? Love that. That's a baseball name. Here's the pitch to Babe. Strike, call another curveball, but lays right there at the knees on the outside corner of the plate. And 0-1 to Tyler Babe. That'd be cool. Tyler Babe Ruth. It's looking young man at the plate. Got some height to him. Some length. Here's the 0-1. Half swing. Did he go? No, I get a check. It's a ball hideaway. 1-1 the count to Babe. The third hit of the lineup. 2 up and 2 down for Shenandoah. Here in the top of the first inning. Babe hitting 265. He 13 of 49. He swings and misses there. And Cale Jensen has some good stuff. He pitched to win over Mount Pleasant last Friday night. They were on the way to the College Road Series. They said, hey, let's play one. So they stopped in Atlantic, and Trojans took it to him. And then came here a week ago. 1-2, a tapper to short. Till's got it again. He'll rifle the first. We're 1 up, another 3 up and 3 down. For the Mustangs, the top of the first inning. A strikeout and 2 ground outs and Terrell. That's 2 clean clubs. And a couple of squeezes by Jack Bullard first. So we're headed to the bottom half of the second inning. No score. You're listening to High School Baseball 95.7 FM and watching it on our live video stream at WesternIowaToday.com. Back in a minute.
First Winnie Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Winnie Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
Have you ever heard the saying, people spend their life building wealth and neglecting their health, only to wish they could trade their wealth for better health at the end? This is Dr. Fritz Beyer, and it has now been over 30 years since my first chiropractic adjustment. I still get asked, do you get adjusted? Absolutely. I try to get adjusted at least once a month. I'm 47 now and still try to stay as active as ever. While I do get a few more aches and pains than when I was younger, it feels great to be able to step on the mat and help kids learning to wrestle. Chiropractic has helped me feel young enough to do it. If staying active is part of your future plans, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
Cale Jensen just whipped through the first three hitters of the Shenandoah lineup with a strikeout and a couple of ground balls to tail it short, and that was all she wrote for the Mustangs as he retired the side in order. The Atlantic Trojans will get their shot now at the pitcher for Shenandoah here, and talk about this young man on the hill with Jack and Levi Green.
Well, Levi Green has got 13 2/3 innings pitched so far on the season, 15 hits, 12 runs, 7 of them earned. He's got 4 wins and 11 strikeouts.
Hudson McLaren will lead off for Atlantic, then Cale Jensen and Gavin McLaren for the Trojans. McLaren, I will mention, all conference a year ago, hitting .244. The junior stands in for the right side. Good pitch coming. That's a strike on the outside edge. Good start for Green. The count is 0-1. No score. Atlantic's first at bat here. This warm and muggy evening here in Atlantic. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming in. That one is outside for ball. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Hudson McLaren. Hudson, 11 of 45 on the year. .244 average. Here's the 1-1. Swung on a shot in the hole and left base hit for McLaren. Hudson will get to first, picks up.
Also bad here in the bottom half of the first inning. Jensen, .348 average. He's 16 of 46 at the plate. 1 on, nobody down for Atlantic here in the bottom half of the first inning. Good lead at first by McLaren. That pitch is swung on and missed. And Green works ahead 0-2 to Cale Jensen, Atlantic's pitcher, who shot the Mustangs down in order to the top of this frame. Green works out of the stretch. McLaren leads at first base. The 0-2 pitch on the way, outside for ball. The count is 1-2. Jensen, a right-handed hitter for the Trojans. Well, he's a tough out. He's walked 9 times and struck out 16. He's hitting at .326. There's a throw to first base. Back in time is Hudson McLaren standing up. Gavin on deck. The catcher for the Trojans. Levi Green on the hill. 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Low for a ball. Count goes to 2-2. Gets away from Babe, but on to second base. Hudson McLaren on the pass ball. Trojans have a runner at second now with nobody down here in the bottom half of the first inning with Jensen at the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eli Cameron at third. Cole Scammon at short. Brody Burdorf at second. Logan Twyman, second team all-conference a year ago at first. Tyler Babe behind the plate. The pitch, curveball high and away. The count goes full at 3-2. Zane McManus in left, Alton Nathan in center, and Joey O'Rourke is in right field. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jensen. McLaren leads at second. Green kicks and fires, sets low and away, and the Trojans have their 2 leadoff hitters aboard via single, and now a walk as Jensen is on base, and here comes Gavin McLaren with an opportunity here to put the Trojans on top. Atlantic defeated Shenandoah back on the 5th of June with a score of 8-7. Gavin hitting .368. What a year he's having. A .537 on base percentage, .474 slugging percentage. He has 4 doubles on the year and 10 RBI, and he's got a chance here with Hudson McLaren at second base, and first base is Cale Jensen. Levi Green will look in. And the pitch coming in, a bunt showed by Gavin McLaren. That's a strike on the outside corner. And the count is 0-1 to McLaren. Gavin so far this season, 11 strikeouts. He leads the league, though, in hit by pitches with 9. I think the other night we saw him hit 3 times. 9 hit by pitches. That leads the Hawkeye 10. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming in. Curveball's high. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. So Hudson McClair with a leadoff single. Cale Jensen with the walk. They man the bases first and second with nobody down here in the bottom half of the first, no score. And the 1-1 pitch from Levi Green is coming in. That's a strike call to the knees. Now the count is 1-2. On deck is Zayden Parker, the Trojans center fielder. Atlantic has a big chance here to jump out with nobody down at 2-1. In the bottom half of number 1, Green in the stretch. McLaren leads at second. Jensen at first. Long look. Here's the kick. Here's the fire. Swing and a miss. And Levi Green gets a strikeout.
For strike 3 and out number 1.
Now a double play within the inning. If Green can get out of here, Zayden Parker at the plate, the cleanup batter. Sawyer Terrell on deck for the Trojans. Parker hitting .255, 3 doubles. He's 12 of 47. McLaren at second with a big lead. They're going to cover at second. Here's the pitch by Green. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-1. Green, a right-hander. Zayden Parker, the center fielder. He's played right some this year. Now he's playing center tonight. Grant Petty's in left. Rudy's in right. 0-1 the count. Too long. Green waits now as Parker steps out and back in. 2 on, 1 out. No score, bottom half of the first inning. Green works into the stretch, comes set. McLaren leads at second base. Here's the pitch. Swung on and ripped to base, hit to left field. That'll score a run. Rounding third and heading for home is Hudson McLaren. Here's the throw. He's safe. The throw to third, and Cale Jensen gets into third safely. And Atlantic jumps out 1-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning. As Parker with an RBI single, the hole in left field. And the Trojans jump out 1-0 here in the bottom of number 1. 1 out as Sawyer Terrell will step in with the runners at first and third. And 1 down, just a solid hit by Parker, about the same place Hudson McLaren hit it, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen some nice contacts so far, and they're not afraid to put the small ball in there. They've been showing bunt quite a few times, and I appreciate when a team has the courage to do that.
Well, even had their leading hitter, Gab McLaren, showing bunt early.
Yeah.
He didn't make contact, but he was going to put 1 down. Runners at first and second. Parker at first. Here's the pitch. Swung on. A tapper to third. Knocked down by Cameron. He's going to fire to first. And he got the out. And the run scores. Atlantic up 2-0 as Terrell is thrown out on a 6-3. But he does drive home a run. And the Trojans up 2-0 as Cale Jensen scores easily from third base. On to second is Zayden Parker. Here's Grant Petty. Right-handed hitter for the Trojans, batting .229. The pitch inside for ball. The count is 1-0. Atlantic 2-0, 2 runs and 2 hits. Leadoff single by McLaren, and then Zayden Parker with an RBI single. RBI ground ball for Terrell. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Count 1-1 to Grant Petty. Petty, right-handed hitter, batting .229 of the year. He's 8 of 35 at the plate for the Trojans. Petty has 3 RBIs, got a chance to drive in a run with Parker at second. Here's the pitch outside. Good stop by Tyler Babe, the catcher. 2-1 the count. Bottom half of the first inning. Keston Schmidt on deck for Atlantic. Stretch Green. Levi brings the pitch. Here it is. Swinging and a foul ball. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Grant Petty, the right-handed hitter for the Trojans. 308 on base percentage, 371 slugging. Pretty decent hitting. And he hit really well early. He had a couple of doubles early in the season. 2-2 is a count. Parker at second. Here's the pitch, high and away. Oh, he called strike 3. And that'll be it for Petty and the Trojans, but they make some noise. Atlantic scores a pair of runs on a pair of hits. No errors, and they leave 1. 2-0 Trojans after 1 inning. We'll be back right after these at 95.7 FM and our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Want your back at the shop? We talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Cass Health in Atlantic, Iowa.
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design.
The top of the second, Trojans up 2-0. 2 runs and a pair of hits. On the hill, Cale Jensen. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Jensen retired this side at the top of the first. Levi Green at the plate, then Tegan Brunk and Joey O'Rourke. 4, 5, and 6 will bat for the Mustangs. Here's the curveball for a strike. Well, I tell you what, this guy is really sharp early. No balls and 2 strikes. Here in the bottom or top of the second. Atlantic up 2-0. They won the first meeting 8-7. Tapper foul. 0-2 the count. Jensen, a right-handed pitcher for the Trojans. Go back over his numbers again. Pretty impressive, and they were able to save him here till Thursday night.
16 2/3 innings pitched, and he's got 16 hits, 21 runs, 16 of them earned on the season so far, and a ERA of 6.72. So he's been doing pretty good for this Atlantic Trojan squad so far.
No doubt. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Green. Cleanup batter for the Mustangs. Here's the pitch on the way. Hot shot to short. Gobbled up nicely by Sawyer Terrell. Fires to first for the out. He has 3 straight assists here in the game. Scammon struck out looking. And then 3 straight ground balls to the shortstop, Sawyer Terrell. And he's been steady Eddie there, huh?
He's getting his reps tonight, Tom.
Tegan Brunk will stand in. The DH batting in the 5th spot here in the top of the second. So Jensen has shot down the first 5 Mustang batters. And he brings the pitch here. High and in for a ball, the count 1-0. Broadcast brought to you in part by Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations at Atlantic and Carroll. There's a nice curve for a strike. Boy, that curve's been working for him, Jack, I'll tell you.
Yeah, he's got a nice one.
1 ball and 1 strike. He came back with a curveball. We'll see what he brings here with the count even. The pitch. Line drive towards center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. So Brunk will break the string with a single to center. Parker gets the ball into the infield, and Brunk with the base knock for the Mustangs here in the top of the second inning. He's at first base. And Brunk just picked up his 8th single of the year, hitting .263 coming in. Joey O'Rourke, the right fielder, will step in. 1 on and 1 out. Atlantic up 2-0. We're the top of the second. Mustang side of the second. The pitch away. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Softball, it is Shenandoah leading Atlantic 1-0. We'll keep an eye on that as well. 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch coming in to Joey O'Rourke. That one's high and away. 2-0 the count. Well, the first time we've seen Cale fall behind. Winner at first base with 1 out is Tegan Brunk, the DH. Batting for Twyman, who was second team all-conference a year ago as a pitcher. That ball gets away, but Brunk didn't have a quick enough step, and he's going to have to stay at first. Twyman, second team all-conference a year ago for Shenandoah as a pitcher. He had an ERA of 2.88. Being hit for here, he plays first base. 3-0, strike. As Jensen comes back with 1 right down the Broadway. 3 balls and a strike. Joey O'Rourke on deck. Green ground out, Brunk with a single, he's at first. O'Rourke at the plate with Zane McManus on deck, I should say. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, so now we got a full count, 3-2. I think that was just a straight fastball that hit the outside edge. We'll see if Jensen with a 3-2 count will come with a curveball here. Brunk leads at first base. Here's a 3-2 pitch on the way. Boom, strike 3 call on the inside edge. And the second K for Jensen. And there's 2 down for the Mustangs at the top of the second inning.
Number 15, Zane McManus.
Zane McManus will step in, the left fielder for Shenandoah. So good job by Cale Jensen. Brunk at first base via the single. Atlantic up 2-0 with the top of the second, 1 on and 2 down for Shenandoah. And the pitch coming in from Jensen, high and in to Zane McManus, the 7th hitter of the lineup for the Mustangs, hitting .220. A right-handed batter, 9 singles, 2 RBIs, 9 of 41 on the year. 1-0 the count. Brunk at first. The pitch coming. Swung on and fouled straight back to count 1-1. McManus, a right-handed batter, trying to keep this inning alive for Shenandoah. Green ground out to short. Brunk with a single. He's at first, and O'Rourke struck out. 2 strikeouts for Jensen here early. Here's the pitch coming, a 1-1 pitch. Strike call, another curveball.
Man, you could tell me that pitch is coming. He'd still make me look like a fool.
And he doesn't really come over the top either. He kind of comes a little 3/4 with that. Almost looks like a slider, but I think just because of his arm motion. Here's the 1-2 pitch with 1 on and 2 down. Here it is. Swing and a miss and a strikeout for Jensen, his 3rd. He struck out 2 of the 4. No runs. Brunk got a hit. No errors. And 1 left on base. We are through 1.5, and the Trojans with the lead 2-0. They come to bat in the bottom half of the second inning. We'll be back with more here in Atlantic right after these.
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design pros to make your customized tees, team apparel, and personalized swag for your business a reality. Whether it's fan apparel for your high school or youth sports teams, your business, or you just want to make something your own, you'll have everyone saying, "Where'd you get that?" Don't forget, Outfitters will also add your group store online to make ordering a breeze. Get personalized at Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic. Stop by today.
Looking for the ultimate place to host your party? It's time to roll into the Super Bowl on Highway 71 in Atlantic, the place to celebrate birthdays, family nights, or even date nights. Glow Bowling lights up your Friday and Saturday nights. We've got bumpers and ramps for the kiddos, and plenty of lanes for the grown-ups' bragging rights. Whether you're here to compete or just kick back and relax, the Super Bowl is where memories are made. Call Dan at 243-4656 to book your party today. The Super Bowl in Atlantic. Let the good times roll.
Two runs on 2 hits in the bottom half of number 1 puts Atlantic up 2-0. And Jensen pitching well, 3 strikeouts. He's retired 7 straight with 8-9 coming up in the 3rd. Schmidt, the batter, he pops that one foul right side. 7-8-9 for Atlantic here in the bottom half of the 2nd. Schmidt, Rudy, and Colin Harris will bat for the Trojans. 1-1 the count to Keston Smith, the right fielder.
With a little more hustle.
That one goes out of the strike zone. The count is 1-1. Smith on the season for the Trojans. Their Chusky, that's Colin Rudy, I should say. That pitch is high and away. A Colin Rudy at the plate. I had him mixed around there. Rudy playing left field. I had him 20-20. Here's the 2-1 to Colin. There's a rip at third base hit. A hot shot by Rudy, and he'll round first base for the Trojans. He's aboard to lead off this bottom half of the 2nd inning. Atlantic picks up their 3rd hit, so Rudy with the hit for the Trojans.
Keston Schmidt singles to left field for the Trojans. It'll bring up number 14 right fielder Colin Rudy.
So Schmidt I was right the first time there. Schmidt with a single. Here comes Colin Rudy. Rudy, the 8th hitter of the Trojan lineup, 1-0 but down for Atlantic here in the bottom half of the 2nd inning. Rudy, a right-handed hitter. Schmidt had a hot shot to third. We gave him a base hit, Jack. Had a tough hop on Eli Cameron, the 3rd baseman. Levi Green on the hill. So now Colin Rudy will step in, and Keston Schmidt gets the base stock. He was hitting 333 coming in. 8 of 24. Throw back over. Schmidt dives head first back in. Colin Rudy can hit it well. Broadcast brought to you by the First Whitney Bank, the only bank you'll ever need, First Whitney Bank. Here's the pitch, a bunt down the third base line. He almost had to protect himself with that inside pitch. And the count is 0-2 as Green works ahead. Hudson McLaren singled. Cale Jensen walked with runners at first and second. Zayden Parker RBI single. Sawyer Till had an RBI ground ball. Throw back over, gets away, and Schmidt will pop up and he'll head for second base on the error. So Atlantic with a runner in scoring position for Colin Rudy here in the bottom half of the second inning. First error on the Mustangs in the game. Rudy the batter, a right-handed hitter. Colin Harris on deck, the ninth hitter, back to the top of the order here in the bottom half of the second. 2-0 Trojans. Schmidt leads at second base. Here's the pitch, high and away. Count goes to 1-1. Nobody down. Rudy, a right-hander, gets a righty, Levi Green. Green will work into the stretch. Here's the 1-1 offering. It's on the way. Swung on. Pop foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Colin Rudy, hitting 154. Rudy, 2 of 13. He hadn't hit a lot this season. 2 of 13 of the year is Colin Rudy. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schmidt at second base. The pitch. Inside call, inside corner. So there's 1 down. And Green with his third strikeout. 1 swing and 2 looking. And Colin Harris, the ninth hitter of the Trojan lineup, will stand in. Tight pitch, but right there in the corner, Jack.
Yeah, definitely could have gone either way, in my opinion. Colin Rudy, I don't blame him for taking that.
I know it. That was tough to hit. Here's the pitch inside for a ball to Colin Harris, the ninth hitter of the Trojan lineup, hitting 176. Colin on the year, 6 of 34. He has 5 RBI. He's got a duck on the pond there at second base with 1 out. Here's a throw to second. Schmidt dives back safely. Lining up 2-0 with the bottom half of the second. 2 runs on 3 hits. Levi Green in the stretch. Big lead by Schmidt at second. The pitch to Harris. In the dirt, gets away. Schmidt goes to third. Now he's 90 feet away from the third run for the Trojans. Lining up 2-0. Schmidt with a single. Went to second on a pass ball. Or throwing here, I should say. Now the third on a pass ball. Harris, the batter for the Trojans, with 1 out. Hudson McLaren on deck, singled his first time up. 2-0 to Harris, way outside, 3-0. So Green facing his 9th hitter, softball, 1-0 Shenandoah through 2. 3-0 the count. Here's the pitch to Harris. That's in the dirt ball for Colin. Draws the walk. Now runners at first and third for Atlantic with 1 down here in the bottom half of the second inning.
Third baseman Hudson
And Harris with his 9th walk of the season will be at first. Top of the order, Hudson McLaren. Looks like the catcher Tyler Babe out. Some signals to Levi Green. And so I think what they're talking about, Jack, is Harris at first base. We'll see if they make a play on him as he tries to steal second. He's going to stay. There's a swing and a foul ball. High fly ball right field. Coming in is O'Rourke. He's not going to get to it. Drops in for a base hit. Scoring from third is Schmidt and Atlantic with a 3-0. Look, they're going to throw out the runner at second base. That was tricky because they had to hesitate. And Colin Harris was thrown out at second, and Hudson McLaren gets a single to right field. That was a strange event there, but Harris is thrown out at second on a 9-4. And McLaren at first with a RBI single. He's 2 for 2. Cale Jensen at the plate. And Cashton Schmidt will score. Atlantic up 3-0. So a little blooper to right field. Here's the pitch low and away, and there goes the runner. On to second. Hudson McLaren, he's going to take a big swing around second and put the skids on there. So just a bloop single to right, and Harris had to hold up at first. It did bounce in front of O'Rourke. He's able to gather the ball and throw out Harris trying to get desperately to second base. In the meantime, it was a base hit for Hudson McLaren. He drove home. Keston Schmidt at third, swing and a miss. Cale Jensen at the plate. He walked and scored his first time up. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cale Jensen. 1 on and 2 down for Atlantic, and 1 in, 3-0 here in the bottom half of the second inning. Green will work it up. He's going to throw it his second, not in time. Back is McLaren. Hudson with 2 singles. He has his 12th and 13th singles of the year. Getting 244 coming in. He'll elevate that average with the 2 for 2 so far tonight. 1-1 the count. The pitch. Curveball is missed. Oh boy, is that close, Jack.
Yeah.
2-1 the count. Cale Jensen, right-handed batter for the Trojans. 348 hitter, second highest of the team. That ball is thrown out into center field and heading for third base, and the throw is not in time. And Hudson McLaren goes to third on the error. So the Trojans have a runner at third, 2 down, 1 in, 3-0. They tried to throw to second base. It got loose. And McLaren races to third and stands up easily. Now he's 90 feet away. Jensen to the plate for the Trojans. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and it drills the left field. That's going to be foul, just foul on the left field line. He'll have to come back with the 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cale Jensen, 7 doubles on the year. He's got 9 RBIs, 7 singles, 16 of 46 for Cale Jensen. Cale has walked 10 times with the walk tonight. The pitch, curveball tapped to third, and that's going to be foul. Count stays even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cale Jensen, the pitcher for Atlantic. Started all 15 games for the Trojans. 2-2 the count with 1 on and 2 down and 1 in. Atlantic 3 runs and 4 hits here in the ball game. Levi Green kicks, fires the pitch way outside. Full count, 3-2 to Jensen. Gavin McLaren is on deck. He struck out his first time up. Leading the team in hitting, over 360 batting average, almost 370. Strike call to Jensen, and that'll be it. Jensen called strike 3, and the Trojans able to get a run across on 2 hits and a couple of errors by the Mustangs and 1 left. We're through 2, Atlantic 3, and Shenandoah nothing. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. We're back right after these on 95.7 FM and our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com.
Gas prices got you down? Need a ride to work or the grocery store? There's public transportation for everyone in Southwest Iowa. SWITA offers taxi service in Atlantic, Glenwood, Harlan, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. $2.50 each way or $2 for seniors 60 years and older. Just call 1-800-842-8065 or visit swita.com to schedule your ride.
Stein delivers more new genetics faster. Our focus on delivering higher yielding genetics faster than the competition is why we have released more new Enlist E3 lines in the past 5 years than any other seed company. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. 45 years of yield. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Welcome back to Atlantic. We go to the top of the 3rd. Trojans up 3-0 here in the ball game. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Brody Burdorf, the second baseman at the plate.
For the Mustangs.
Burdorf, the 8th hitter in the lineup, hitting 222, 8-15. Cameron on deck, and then Scammon. That pitch is swung on and missed out of the zone. The count goes 0-2 as Burdorf goes to chase in there. 3rd inning, Atlantic up 3-0. We're at the top of the 3rd. And the 0-2. That's a strike three called. What a pitch by Cale Jensen.
Levi Green kind of just got sent down there. I mean, Cale Jensen on the mound yet to kind of slow down. We haven't really seen him make too many mistakes out there.
Yeah, he's got 4 strikeouts. Cameron, the batter, the ninth hitter in the lineup, the third baseman for the Mustangs, Atlantic up 3-0. Nobody on, one out here in the top of the third. That pitch is swung on. A ground ball towards the hole and right. Harris stops it. It does squirt through, but a base hit. Free Cameron. A good try by Harris going to his left.
Cameron singles the right
Couldn't
field.
quite knock it down. The Mustangs had their second hit of the ball game with 1 on and 1 out here at the top of the third inning. Harris is playing close to second base, Jack, and he had to make some ground there. He did get it slowed down, but a base hit for Cameron. And Cole Scammon, the leadoff batter, will step in. He caught looking the first time up. As Cale Jensen's pitched to Jim so far with 4 strikeouts. Couple of hits, strike called outside edge. 0-1 the count. We're in the top of the third. Cameron, the runner at first base via the single. Scammon, the batter, for the Mustangs. Jensen in the stretch. Long look, swing, and hit the right. Back, Rudy back, makes the catch, 2 down. And the runner has to go back. So Rudy danced a little bit out in right field, but he got under it.
Yeah, it never has to be the prettiest, but as long as you track it down, as long as you make that catch and keep that runner at bay, you did your job.
Dalton Nathan will step in now for the Mustangs with 1 on and 2 down. The top of the third, Atlantic up 3-0. Here's the throw back to first, and it gets away and on to second base. Eli Cameron on the error. Atlantic with their first error of the ball game. Runner in scoring position for Shenandoah. Atlantic up 3-0. In the top of the third inning. 1 on and 2 down. Jensen 4 strikeouts. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, a hot shot to second. Harris knocks it down. He'll fire to first, and it's scooped by Jack Muller, and the out is made. So Harris with the hit for 3, and that'll be it for Shenandoah. No runs. They got a hit. They left 1 error by Atlantic. Trojans up 3-0, and we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Trojans with a 3-run lead. We'll be back right after these.
Get ready for a fresh start at Greg Young Atlantic. Our Greg Young Fresh Start program helps you hit the road with confidence, overcome credit challenges with personalized financing, and a wide selection of great vehicles. Visit us today to find your brand new Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram, or check out our huge pre-owned selection at GregYoungAtlantic.com and GregYoungCDJRAtlantic.com. And to apply. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Here at Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you.
At Oak Point Wealth Management, we're embracing new changes to better serve you. As an independent wealth manager, I'm excited to partner with LPL Financial, bringing you comprehensive tools and resources backed by personalized service and dynamic technology. My focus remains on helping you achieve your financial goals with integrity and care. Visit oakpointwealth.com or call me, Erin Friend, at 712-207-3521 to learn more.
Visit www.oakpointwealth.com, 712-207-3521 to learn more about how Oak Point Wealth Management can help you pursue your financial goals.
Atlantic Ag and Auto, your locally owned CarQuest Auto Parts store, is seeking help to fill a part-time or possibly full-time position. While experience in retail parts is preferred, it is not a deal breaker. The ideal candidate should have entry-level computer skills and be comfortable working with the public and having some fun while doing it. If you have excellent customer service skills, a valid driver's license, and a history of reliability, we would like to hear from you. Atlantic Ag and Auto is an equal opportunity employer located at 716 West 7th Street here in Atlantic.
PA guy, Mr. McLaren, he knows. I don't know what it is about Gavin, but he's like a punching bag up there. He's hit by a pitch for the 10th time this year. Is that a neat thing to lead the league in that, I suppose? You get on. That pitch is high and away. 1 on for Atlantic and nobody down. We're in the bottom half of the third. Trojans up 3-0. 2 in the first, 1 in the second. 3 runs and 4 hits. McLaren leads at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch coming in. There's a drive up the middle, base hit. McLaren will go to second base. And Zayden Parker, he's 2 for 2 with an
Parker with
RBI.
his second single
And
of the
he
night,
singles
with
to center
runners at first
field.
and second.
2 on and 2 down for Atlantic here in the bottom half of the third. Here comes Sawyer Terrell. Gavin's got to have a lot of welts because they hit him in the same spot, so maybe he's just got one big welt.
He's probably spending a ton on ice packs in the McLaren's house, aren't they?
They got to stop at the convenience store and get one of those big bags. He's a tough kid going to South Dakota State U to play football. He still has his senior year to go, and he's going to be a Jackrabbit. And they're looking for a fullback, and that's what he played in high school. And he's a heck of a blocker, and he can run it too. He's got good speed, and still a senior year to go, and he's already committed to play football for D1 South Dakota State. We've got a time here as the umpires visit with Coach Roberts of Shenandoah. We'll try to figure out what we've got here. We do have a runner at second, and the Trojans, Gab McLaren hit by a pitch, then Zane Parker singles. He's at first base with Sawyer Terrell waiting to come to the plate. As Sawyer had a ground ball RBI in the first inning. Zayden Parker had the other ribby for the Trojans. They scored 2 runs in the first. They played another run in the second, and they have 2 on and nobody down here in the bottom half of the third inning with a 3-0 lead. And we apologize because we don't have a mic down on the infield as the umpires visit with the head coach, Brett Roberts. And I think there is some disagreement down there as well on something. They've got it taken care of. So we're back to playing on the softball field. Atlantic has tied it up at 1-1. Shen, 1 run on 3 hits. Atlantic now 1 run on 5 hits in the game. Trojans will play North Polk tomorrow in the first round of that Fort Dodge tournament at Harlan Park.
Is Trojan shortstop Sawyer Terrell.
Sawyer Terrell will step in. Right-handed batter with 2 on and nobody down. Atlantic has a chance here in the bottom of the third to break things open up 3-0. Green will bring the pitch way outside. Nice stop by Tyler Babe, the catcher. Logan Twyman at first, Brody Burdoff at second, Cole Scammon at short, and Eli Cameron at third. The pitch. Going in. 2-0 the count. Good eye by Terrell. Close work, though, by Levi Green. Gavin leads at second. Zayden Parker at first. Terrell the batter. The count is 2-0. The pitch. Ground ball third. Snagged by Cameron. And he's going to get the fourth at third base for the out. So fielder's choice for Terrell. He's at first.
Forced out at third base.
McLaren forced out at third.
Fielder number 15, Grant Petty.
So Grant Petty will step in. He struck out looking his first time up. Runners at first and second, 1 out. 3-0 Trojans here in the bottom of third. Petty, a right-handed batter. Atlantic 3 runs and 5 hits now. Here's the pitch to Grant. Swing and a miss. A nice curve on Green. Grant Petty batting the 6th spot for the Trojans, hitting .229 of the year. Here's the pitch. The sophomore curve is swung on and missed. Gets away. On to third base is Zayden Parker. And Terrell will jog to second. Atlantic has 2 in scoring position for Grant Petty. Here in the bottom half of third and a 3-0 lead with 2 on and 1 out. First base is open. Caston Smith on deck. Levi Green in the stretch. Here's the pitch way outside for a ball. Now the count is 1-2.
Grant Petty's true expertise lies on the base paths, Tom. 5 out of 5 so far on the season there. And if he can get a way to get on base here, he'll be a true threat.
Here's a called strike 3 on Petty. Close work on the outside corner. Now there's 2 down. Well, that's a key strikeout right there for Levi Green. Atlantic has runners at second and third with 2 down. 3-0 Trojans. Caston Smith, the batter, here in the bottom, number 3. Levi Green set. Here's the pitch on the way. He swung on and hit to short. Room service to the shortstop. Scammon, easy play for the out. That's it, a one-hopper right to the shortstop Scammon. He fires for the out, and that'll be it for the Trojans. They leave a pair in that inning as they scored no runs on 1 hit. And the Trojans head to the field down the top of the 4th. They lead by the score of 3-0. 2-0. We're back right after these at 95.7 FM on our live video stream, westernouttoday.com, TV, YouTube, powered by Nishnet.
Atlantic Ag and Auto, your locally owned CarQuest Auto Parts store, is seeking help to fill a part-time or possibly full-time position. While experience in retail parts is preferred, it is not a deal breaker. The ideal candidate should have entry-level computer skills and be comfortable working with the public and having some fun while doing it. If you have excellent customer service skills, a valid driver's license, and a history of reliability, we would like to hear from you. Atlantic Ag and Auto is an equal opportunity employer located at 716 West 7th Street here.
Hey there, this is Tanner from your Atlantic Hy-Vee, and I've got some exciting news to share. Thanks to your feedback, we're currently rated the friendliest Hy-Vee in the entire company. That's a huge honor, and on behalf of the whole team, thank you to everyone who's taken time to share their thoughts. Did you know you can leave feedback too? Just check the link on the bottom of your Hy-Vee receipt or in your email after a purchase. Whether it's a compliment or constructive criticism, I love reading your surveys and making sure we're always improving. And as always, thank you for shopping your Atlantic Hy-Vee.
Welcome back to Atlantic. We go to the top of the fourth inning. Trojans up 3-0. And the hitter for Shenandoah leading off the fourth is Tyler Babe, the catcher. Babe Green Brunk, 3, 4, and 5. Here's the 0-1. That's low for a ball. 1-1 the count to Babe. Ground out his first time up. There is 3 straight ground balls to shortstop Terrell. He took care of business nicely in the second and bled into the third. Here's the pitch coming in. Swung on a topper to third. Knocked down by McLaren. Hudson fires to first. Easy play for Moore there. It's a 5-3. Nice backhand by McLaren. Jack McKee and Trojan defense looks solid.
Yeah, definitely, especially over there on the left side. I mean, you got Sawyer Terrell doing his work in the first and the second. And now over on third, you got Hudson McLaren sharing a bit of the love.
So there's one out for the Mustangs at the top of the fourth. Atlantic up 3-0. Levi Green, the batter, ground out his first time. That pitch is high and away for a ball. And the count is 1-0. Tegan Brunk is on deck. He had the first single. They actually broke 4 straight that Jensen had retired in the first into the second inning. And then Jensen had back-to-back strikeouts to end that inning. Green, the batter, lefty against righty. Jensen. Here's the 1-0. Strike called outside corner. Count goes to 1-1 to Levi Green. Green batting in the cleanup spot for the Mustangs. Hitting .265 of the year. Here's the 1-1 offering. High and away. Green 10 singles. He has 3 doubles. 14 RBI, and that leads the team. Mustangs with 47 coming in, hitting .219. The pitch, way outside, 3-1 as Jensen falls behind. He picked up the win last Friday against Mount Pleasant and has not pitched an inning. Here this week so far, the Trojans won 3 out of the last 4. 3-1 pitch inside. That, he looked like he signaled strike, but maybe motioned the walk. I guess that's the case. So Levi Green draws the walk with the strike signal. But, I mean, that happens.
Levi Green draws
that was interesting. He definitely pointed strike there.
Yeah, but the umpire had the right call, no doubt. He was out of the strike zone. Good eye by Green. 1 on and 1 out here in the fourth inning. Here's Brunk. That's a strike. Brunk 1 for 1. He had that single back in the second. He was left at first base. Brunk, a rod-headed hitter for the Mustangs. Atlantic up 3-0. We're at the top of the fourth. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. The count is 1-1 to Brunk for Shenandoah. Brunk hitting .237 coming in. Scored 5 runs. He was 9 of 38. He's now 10 of 39 with that single. Ball gets away, and Levi Green will race to second base. He's in scoring position for Tegan Brunk, the DH. Brunk hitting for Twyman, the first baseman. 1 on and nobody down for Shenandoah, or 1 down, for Shenandoah here in the top of the fourth inning. Count 2 balls and a strike. Babe ground out to Hudson McLaren to lead off the inning. Now Green walks. Here's the pitch, high and in. 3 balls and a strike. Joey O'Rourke is on deck. He was caught. Look at his first time up. Brunk will lead at second base. Cale Jensen to the stretch. Here's the 2-1. Curveball missed inside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Jensen here in this fourth inning.
Runners at first and second with nobody out. Or excuse me, with one out.
One out. Joey Rourke is the batter.
Will be right
They
fielder,
ground out to
Joey
lead
O'Rourke.
off the inning, and then Green walked. He's at second. Tegan Brunk drew the walk. He's at first. And now Shenandoah getting something to go on here in the top of the fourth inning. And Atlantic leading by the score of 3-0. Coach Schelling heading out to the hill to talk to his pitcher, Cale Jensen. Will take a timeout. We're back right after this.
Delivers more new genetics faster. Our focus on delivering.
When you're on the go, it's all about convenience. Add fantastic food, beverages, plus BP superior fuels, and you have Olson's BP in Atlantic. From sunup to sundown, we're the keep you going store. From our loaded breakfast burritos and Bunker Dunker donuts to our delicious Champs chicken and pizza to go, we have the food you crave. Don't forget the cold beer in the beer cave. Stop in and fill her up. There's always something you need at Olson's BP, the keep you going store, 2nd and Locust in Atlantic.
Coach Schelling goes back to the dugout. Atlantic with a 3-0 lead. We're in the top of the fourth, and the Mustangs looking to rally here as they have 2-1 and 1 out. Back-to-back walks given up by Cale Jensen. Green at second. Brunk at first base. Here's Joey O'Rourke at the plate. And the pitch coming from Jensen here. Long look at second. Here's the pitch. And it was actually behind him. Could have hit him. So Jensen struggling here in the top of the fourth inning. 1-0 the count to Joey O'Rourke, who struck out looking his first time up. O'Rourke, a right-handed batter. Runners at second, that's Green. First base is Brunk. That pitch is strike on the inside corner, count 1-1, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to Gavin McLaren behind the plate. I mean, he's been doing really well so far in this one. I mean, the backstop here in Atlantic is a danger zone, especially with runners on base.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. High and in. It is definitely deep. There's no doubt about it. It's got a hard wall at that base. He can get the ricochet. Some help there every once in a while. But 2-1 the count. 2-1 and 1 out. Atlantic up 3-0 with the top of the fourth. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. The count evens up at 2-2. Nice pitch by Cale Jensen. Jensen with 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts here in the ball game. A couple of walks. Mustangs, no runs, and they have 2 hits here in the ball game. Brunk with a single, and Eli Cameron, we gave him a single. Those are unofficial from our point of view, but that's what we have here. 2-1, Green at second, Brunk at first. 2-2 pitch, forthcoming with 1 out. Here's the pitch to O'Rourke from Cale Jensen. Ground ball right back where it came from. Jensen snags it, throws to second for 1. They're going to throw to first base, gets a double play. How about that? Jensen, I thought was going to go to first, but then he lobbed it to second.
Starts the double play.
And he gets to throw to Muller at first with double play. What a great defensive effort right there.
Yeah, definitely.
No hits.
So Roy grounds out into double play. They throw out Brunk at second, and O'Rourke at first base with that double play, and a big play for the Trojans. Here in the top of the fourth inning, they maintain that 3-0 lead. Atlantic coming to bat in the bottom half of the frame. They'll have a Rudy, Harris, and then the top of the order here in the fourth. Atlantic with a 3-0 lead. We're back right after these at 95.7 FM and our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com.
At Seed Pros, our mission is to be your business partner every day of every season.
Pioneer Hybrid International was founded in Iowa back in 1926 and is still American today. Not many other seed providers can make that claim.
We partner with you to continually push the limits by combining elite seed genetics, local infield knowledge, along with customer service second to none.
We are with you from the word go. Contact Mark Van Tiger, Gary Dinkla, Nick Knutson, or John Becker to partner with a team that puts your business needs first.
At Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We've been dedicated to our communities for over 35 years. From real estate and ag loans to personal and commercial banking, we offer a full range of financial services tailored to meet your needs. We believe in giving back and being involved in the communities we serve. Stop into one of our 12 convenient locations or visit us at rollinghillsbank.com.
Come back to Atlantic as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Atlantic up 3-0 as we look back on this one. And Cale Jensen's throwing a gem. He did fall behind a couple of times here in the top of this frame with a couple of walks, but the double play got him out of trouble. Trojans scored 2 in the first and 1 in the second. They lead 3-0, 3 runs and 5 hits. And they go to bat here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Atlantic girls up 4-1 in softball now. Fastball bounces in for a ball to Colin Rudy. Then Colin Harris. Rudy, right-handed batter, struck out looking his first time. He rips out to left center field. That's a base hit. Ethan comes over to make the play in the gap. He'll hold Rudy at first. Atlantic with her 6th hit of the ball game, and Colin Rudy with a nice hit as he drills at left center field. And the Trojans had the leadoff batter aboard. Nice piece of hitting.
Yeah, and that's one of those hits you wish you could replay back in your head and back on the box. I mean, that was beautiful. You heard the sound of that bat, and you know he's good for a base.
1 on and nobody down. 6 hit for Atlantic here in the game. Here's the pitch on the way to Harris. He showed bunt. And that was a strike. 0-1 the count, and Hudson McLaren on deck here in the bottom half of the fourth. 1 on. Nobody down. Atlantic up with 3-0. 3 runs and 6 hits. Green's pitch. Collins showed bunt. Pulled back for a ball. I believe it's a ball. We'll see what they signal here. Nonetheless, Rudy with a nice hit to left. He's at first base. Green will work into the stretch. Rudy leads at first. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on, hit to right field. O'Rourke coming. It's going to be a base hit. They're going to get Rudy, though, at second base on the force. Just a little blooper, and Rudy had nowhere to go. So he's thrown out at a 9-4, but Colin Harris gets a single. Colin with a walk and a hit for the Trojans here tonight. He's at first base with 1 down here in the bottom half of the fourth. Back to the top of the order. Hudson McLaren 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. Here's the pitch. Fastball's a strike inside edge. The count 0-1 to McLaren. So Hudson having a good night at the plate. 2 hits. He had number 12 and 13 singles for McLaren. 1-1 the count. Here's the curve. That just missed. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Close work by Green. Both these guys have good curveballs.
Yeah, very good. I mean, you kind of have to wonder which one's on the plate if you look at those curveballs close enough. They're both really doing good.
1-1 the count. Run on and 1 out. Hudson McLaren at the play. That pitch is low and away. The count is 2-1 to Hudson. 3 RBI for the junior. We look at, he's only struck out 12 times. Hit by a pitch 7 times, almost like Gavin. That pitch is low and away. Walked 5 times this season. And he stands at 10-47 at the plate, hitting .244. 3 balls and a strike to Hudson. 1 on and 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and ripped foul. That'll take the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with Cale Jensen on deck. I believe Hudson, I'm not sure if it's his brother or cousin. Maybe Tom can help us down the way here. Garrett had a hole-in-one as a cousin. Thank you, Tom. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Hit him. And that hurt. Hit him right there in the arm, and so left shoulder. So Hudson hit by the pitch, and he goes to first.
Number 11, Cale Jensen.
So that's the 8th time he's been hit by a pitch this season. 2 on for Atlantic and 1 out. Garrett McLaren, as we mentioned, a cousin, had a hole-in-one at number 8 at the Atlantic Golf and Country Club last Friday, June 13th. What's unique about that is that was the same hole he got his first par, same hole he got his first eagle, and the same hole he got his first birdie, and the same hole that he had a hole-in-one. I mean, that's pretty neat, yeah. But he had a hole-in-one at number 12 earlier in his young career as a golfer. He's 21 years old. And so that was a neat thing that happened on Friday the 13th, believe it or not. Atlantic has 2 on, 1 out, 1-0 is the count. The batter is Jensen. Pitch is high, 2-0. So Hudson hit by a pitch at first. Colin Harris, the runner at second for Atlantic, he got that single. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Atlantic up 3-0. Here's the pitch. There's a rip deep left center. Back to the wall. That'll score a pair. Rounding third is Colin Harris. He'll race for home. And right behind him is Hudson McLaren. And a 2 RBI double by Cale Jensen. And Atlantic now up 5-0.
Colin Harris and Hudson McLaren.
Here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. What a timely hit for Jensen, the pitcher for Atlantic, scoring 2 on that deep hit to the wall of left center, Jack.
Yeah, working out for his own cause there. I mean, he does great on the defense, he does great on the offense, and that'll make you feel better once you head to the mound again.
No doubt about it, and he just drilled that ball. I thought for a moment it might have the distance, but not quite. But RBI number 10 and 11 for Cale Jensen, and he just hit his 8th double of the season, and he's at second base. It cleared Harris, who had singled, and McLaren, who had hit by a pitch. They're home. Atlantic now 5 runs and 7 hits to lead here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. So Coach Roberts out to talk. They're going to leave Levi Green in, and Gavin McLaren will step in. He struck out his first time up. Hit by a pitch, was forced out to third base back in that 3rd inning. 1 on, 1 out, 2 in, 5-0 Trojans. Softball Atlantic girls leading 5-1 there. And the pitch from Green to Gavin. There's a high fly ball, center field. Ethan going back. That's going to hit the wall. Gavin McLaren charging for second base. Rounding third and heading home is Cale Jensen. And McLaren dives in safely for a triple. What a job by Gavin McLaren. He never stopped. And the big guy showed some speed at 6'2", 245. And he just ripped around the base paths, Jack.
The bat's on fire for the Trojans in this inning, following up that double with a beautiful triple to right center.
So Gavin McLaren, boy, it was fun to watch him run, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Man, he was ripping around. He's hitting 368 coming in. His first triple of the year, and his 11th RBI, and the Trojans now up 6-0. 6 runs on 8 hits. They've scored 3 in the frame. We're in the bottom of the 4th.
Number 7, Zayden Parker.
Zayden Parker, 2 for 2 with an RBI, is at the plate with Gavin McLaren at third base. The pitch, high and in. A little chin music there. Zayden, a couple of hits here. He's had a good night at the plate. Atlantic with 8 hits. As you mentioned, Jack, the bats are hot for the Trojans. They had 2 runs on 2 hits in the first, 1 run on 2 hits in the second. They had 1 hit in the third, but were shut out, and then 3 runs here on 3 hits. Swing and a miss. He called it a tip. 1-1 the count. I got to go back 4 hits, excuse me. Rudy had a single. Colin Harris with a single. A double by Jensen, 2 RBI double, now an RBI triple by McLaren. The pitch, there's a 5 ball left center. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Scoring from third is Gavin McLaren, and the Trojans now lead 7-0.
Zayden Parker with the Texas
Parker,
leader
3 for 3.
Drives in.
As our
courtesy runner, Corbin Ritter.
Corbin Ritter will score from third.
Shortstop, Sawyer Terrell.
So as our PA announcer, Tom McLaren, calls it a Texas leaguer. And it drives home a run. And Atlantic now with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits in the frame. My goodness. Trojans up 8-0. We're in the bottom half of the 4th. Sawyer Terrell will step in with 1 on and 1 out. And 4 in. Big inning. Pitches high for a ball. Grant Petty on deck for Atlantic. Number 7. Batting for the Trojans here in the frame. Here's the throw to first, not in time. Zayden back in easily. Parker's had a good night at the plate. 3 for 3 for Parker. He drove in a run. In fact, he drove in 2 runs. That's a strike inside edge. Sawyer Terrell, the shortstop at the plate. I'm going to go back to Parker. All singles. He has 12 singles now. He's 15 of 50 on the season. 0-1 pitch outside for a ball. Parker entered the game hitting .255, and he's inflated that average with 3 straight hits tonight and 3 RBI. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Terrell. There's a deep fly ball left field. It's going to drift foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 on and 1 out and 5 in. 8-0 Atlantic here in the 4th. Trojans trying to make it 4 out of 5. They won 4, lost 11, but they're playing their best baseball right now. 1-2 the count. Green on the hill for the Mustangs. A pitch outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count to Terrell. Grant Petty on deck here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Levi Green brings it. Strike is called, and that'll be it for Terrell.
Called strike 3.
So Terrell strikes out, looking, and here comes Grant Petty. 8th hitter to hit for the Trojans here in the bottom half of the 4th. Atlantic with 4 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Here in the frame. 1 on and 2 down, 8-0 Atlantic. Here's the pitch way outside. And now they've got a rundown with Parker, and they're going to get him. Parker got leaning the wrong way. Great job by Babe, the catcher, right, Jack? I mean, he was able to recover and thrown out in a rundown, and that'll be it. So Grant Petty will be back at the plate in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Atlantic with an 8-0 lead. We go to the 5th. Trojans up big, 8 runs on 10 hits so far here in the contest. We'll take a timeout. We're back in a minute with more baseball here from Atlantic on 95.7 FM and our live video stream at westernnowtoday.com and our live video stream westernnowtoday.com TV and YouTube as we will get, there we go.
Watering. Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
First Winnie Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Winnie Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Atlantic as we go to the top of the 5th inning. The Trojans with an 8-0 lead over the Shenandoah Mustangs. They got to get something going here in this frame. Here's the pitch on the way high and in for a ball. The Trojans up big here early on. 2 in the first, 1 in the second. 4 runs here in the 4th inning. 7-0, I should say, Jack. 7-0 Trojans. Mustangs batting here in the top of the 5th inning. Zane McManus at the plate. He struck out swinging his first time up. McManus, a right-handed batter here in the top of the 5th. Here's the pitch coming. There's a drive to right field, base hit. McManus picks up a single to right field to lead off the top of the 5th. 7-0 Trojans, and Brody Burdorf will step in. He struck out looking his first time up. Atlantic girls leading 5-1, 5 runs and 8 hits. Phillies 1 run and 4 hits in softball action. Atlantic up 7-0 here with Burdorf at the plate. 1 on and nobody down. Jensen brings the pitch. Here it is inside for a ball. Eli Cameron on deck. Burdorf caught looking his first time up in the 4th. Mustangs hit 4 to the plate in the 4th inning. They have 2 hits. What a job by Jensen. Strike called, throw to first. Back safely, McManus. Jensen had a little struggle in the 4th inning. He walked a pair. Then the double play bailed him out in that 4th. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brody Burdorf, the 8th hitter in the Mustang lineup. 1 on and nobody down. 7-0 Atlantic. Here's the pitch on the way. High for, they can call a strike. Yeah, that's inside edge. Leading the way at McManus at first base. 0-2 the count to Brody Burdorf. Throw back over to first. Not in time. McManus back safely. Mustangs' only threat was in the 4th inning when they had 2 on and 1 out before the double play for the Trojans. 0-2 the count to Burdorf here in the top of the 5th. And the pitch just missed inside. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. McManus at the plate. He's hitting at .220 of the year coming in. 9 of 41 at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Hit to right field. Rudy there makes the grab, and there's 1 out. Just a little routine fly to right. Rudy had his radar on and made the catch. 1 out with McManus at first. Here's Cameron, the batter. He singled his first time up.
Third baseman Eli Cameron.
Cameron, the first baseman, 9th hitter of the lineup, and then back at the top of the order. Sun setting out of the west. Pleasant night here at Trevor Memorial Stadium, and pitch is thrown over to first, and Mueller has to save it for Atlantic. That almost thrown away, and McManus, but he had a free shot to second. Cale Jensen's gone the distance. Strikeout in the first, he had 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth. 4 strikeouts for the junior. Atlantic up 7-0. We're at the top of the 5th. Mustang side of the 5th. Eli Cameron at the plate, the 9th hitter of the lineup. 1 on, 1 out. The pitch. Strike cold. 4 strikeouts for Jensen. He's walked a pair, and that was back in the 4th. 1-1 the count with 1 on. Jensen. A lot of nods there. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. Count is 0-2. Good pitch. He liked all the signs there, Jack. Yep, I like that one. I like that one. What do you want me to throw? Here you go. And a strike. 0-2. Nice curve missed. 1-2 the count. That's just inside. McManus at first base. Gavin McLaren behind the plate. Cale Jensen looks over at the bag. Now he'll come set. 1-2. Strike 3, called a beauty. Another curveball in the outside corner. And that guy's curveball is on tonight. 2 down. Back-to-back outs after McManus led off with a single. Burdorf flew to right, and now Cameron caught looking on that wicked curveball.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And I could say that about every single one of his curveballs we've seen every night. There's no clue where it's going.
Here's Scammon at the plate. Curveball misses inside. Excuse me. Well, for Scammon, he caught looking and flew to right. 0 for 2. The leadoff hitter for is Shenandoah. Batting .244 coming in. That pitch inside gets away. On to second base goes McManus on that wild pitch. So the leadoff batter's at second for the Mustangs here in the top of the 5th inning. Atlantic up 7-0. 7 runs and 10 hits here in the ball game. Runner at second right now is McManus. He led off this inning with a single. Went to second, the wild pitch. Then Burdorf flew to right, and Cameron caught looking on that curveball by Jensen. His 5th strikeout of the ball game. We're the top of number 5, and Scammon, the lefty at the plate, flew to right and struck out. The pitch. There's a foul ball sliced into the left side and out of play. Still 5-1. Softball game is in the bottom half of the 5th. We're keeping pace here, a little bit behind the baseball side, but both games in the 5th inning. Atlantic will head to Fort Dodge tomorrow in that softball tournament, a 2-day event. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming in to Scammon. There it is, just missed away. The count 1-1. They play him straight away. Parker in center field and Rudy in right, Petty in left. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Scammon on the way. Swung on, fouled back.
Good work, 11.
Now Cale Jensen works ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dalton Nathan is on deck for Shenandoah. He's 0 for 2. He's made contact. A couple of ground balls, 1 to short and 1 to second. Speaking of second, that's where Zane McManus is leading big there. Long look by Jensen. Here's the 1-2. Gets away, and the runners are going to both advance. And now runners at second and third. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Scammon goes on to second base. And McManus at third. Athan, the hitter for the Mustangs, a left-handed batter, 1 ball and 2 strikes. First base is open. There's 2 down. Atlantic up 7-0. A chance for the Mustangs to get back in here. Here's a 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, hit to left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit, and that'll score 2. Mustangs on the board. Scammon scores, and Zane McManus scores. And a double by Dalton Athan with the 2 RBI. Nice hitting by Athan, the left-handed hitter, with a 2 RBI double. And the Mustangs on the board, 7-2 here in the 5th.
Yeah, and he did a nice job turning on that ball. That was right on the line. Tom just got to the right of it. And that's the difference between 2 RBIs and nothing.
Well, a good 2-out double by Dalton Athan for the Mustangs. And now they have 1 on and 2 down and 2. And there's a rip to left coming in and making the catch is Grant Petty in left field. That is a hard play to make, Jack McKee. And Grant Petty coming in on a line drive that was dying fast, and he got it just above the blade of the grass to make the out and save another run for the Mustangs. That was a gutsy play by Grant Petty, huh?
Yeah, and he ran. He had a combination of speed and flexible hamstrings to kind of bend down and get there right on time.
Well, we know Petty's got the speed, and he was able to get there and make the catch. Hey, the Mustangs did make some noise, though. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits, and they left 1. We're through 4.5, and the Mustangs scratching and clawing their way back. They're down 7-2. Atlantic coming to bat in the bottom half of the 5th inning. We'll take a timeout. We're back with more from Atlantic on 95.7 FM, our live video stream, westerniowatoday.com.
First Winnie Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Winnie Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
Have you ever heard the saying, people spend their life building wealth and neglecting their health, only to wish they could trade their wealth for better health at the end? This is Dr. Fritz Beyer, and it has now been over 30 years since my first chiropractic adjustment. I still get asked, do you get adjusted? Absolutely. I try to get adjusted at least once a month. I'm 47 now and still try to stay as active as ever. While I do get a few more aches and pains than when I was younger, it feels great to be able to step on the mat and help kids learning to wrestle. Chiropractic has helped me feel young enough to do it. If staying active is part of your future plans, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Want your back at the shop? We talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Pitching 4 innings for the Mustangs, and we'll take a look at the numbers here from Brody Burdorf here, Jack McKee, as Grant Petty will walk to the plate for the Trojans. What a catch he had. He had to come in from left field that line drive. It wasn't like he had a lot of air underneath it that he could get there, and he caught the line drive right on top of the grass. Petty will lead off for Atlantic in the bottom of the 5th, leading 7-2. 7 runs on 10 hits. Here's the pitch on the way. Curve misses high and in. So Burdorf on the hill for Shenandoah in relief of Levi Green, who pitched 4 complete. Here's the pitch to Grant. Swung on a tapper to third. Cameron's he's got to hurry. Here it is, just in time. The speedy Grant Petty. 5-3. Eli Cameron sure-handed at third base for the Mustangs.
Grounds out to the third baseman.
Nobody on him, 1 out for the Trojans, bottom of 5th inning. Atlantic up 7-2.
Hitter number 20, Keston
Smith will stand in. He singled back in the 2nd and scored. and he ground out in the third.
Brody Burdorf, 11 2/3 on the hill so far this season. What sticks out to me, Tom, is that 3.6 ERA, along with those 60 strikeouts. As an opponent batting average of 167, a solid reliever.
Really, and he's a tall, lanky thrower, throws that outside. And the count is 1-0 to Keston Smith. 1 for 2 with Smith here in the ball game. Righty against righty here. Smith, the DH for Muller. Swings and misses there. Count is 1-1 to Schmidt. Singled in the second inning and scored. He ground out of the third. Atlantic up 7-2. We're in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Good stop by Burdorf right out of the gate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Colin Rudy on deck for Atlantic. The 8th hitter in the lineup for the Trojans. Here's a 1-2 offering. Curveball missed in. Sidewinder. Brody Burdorf will come from the side. Right-handers, Jack mentioned, a solid ERA. 2-2. There's a rip down the third baseline foul. Count remains even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Keston Smits, hitting .333 for the Trojans, third highest on the team. McLaren leads with .368 average. Jensen, .348. The pitch swung on and tipped foul right off of Babe's mask. Count remains 2-2. Atlantic 7-1 over Shenandoah. Thank you, Richie. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Nobody on and 1 out here for the Trojans. They lead 7-2. 2-2 the count as Burdorf goes back to work, and here's the pitch on the way. Low and away for a ball, 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rudy on deck for the Trojans. He's 1 for 2. He struck out the first time and singled the second. There's a strikeout for Burdorf. Boy, he's sharp as he gets Schmidt swinging and missing. 2 up and 2 down for Atlantic here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Colin Rudy will step in for the Trojans. Rudy, a right-handed hitter. Nobody on and 2 down as Burdorf takes over. Forces 1 ground out and now a strikeout, and Rudy will try to get something going for Atlantic with 2 down here in the bottom of the fifth inning. 7-2 Trojan lead. Here's the pitch, low and away. 1-0 to Colin Rudy, then Colin Harris on deck. Colin 1 for 1 with a walk, and he's scored a run for the Trojans. He was 1 of 4 runs in that 4th inning. That pitch hit him, thud. So Rudy takes a hit by pitch. So Rudy hit by a pitch. Third batter hit by a pitch here in the game tonight. 1 on and 2 down. Here comes Colin Harris. Right-handed batter for the Trojans. 1 on and 2 outs. There's a throw back over, not in time. Atlantic 7 runs on 10 hits. Mustangs 2 runs and 3. Here's the pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Harris. The 9th hitter in the Trojan lineup here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 176 coming in. Harris with 7 singles now in the season. Swings and misses at that one. The count is 1-1. Burdorf started the game and went 4. Allowed 7 runs on 10 hits. Green, and now Burdorf taking over. Goes back to first. Diving back is Colin Rudy. 2 down for the Trojans. A Petty ground out. Schmidt struck out, and Rudy hit by a pitch. Now Colin Harris at the plate. Brody Burdorf in relief goes in the stretch. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and a strike as he falls behind. Atlantic had that big 4-run inning. That 4th inning had 4 runs scored. Big inning for the Trojans. 2-1 pitch, way outside, 3-1. That's McLaren on deck for Atlantic, the leadoff hitter. He's 2 for 2 and hit by a pitch. He's had a solid night, scored a run for the Trojans. 3-1 offering. Called strike 2. 3-2 to Harris. Trojan batters very patient with their approaches here, Jack. Burdorf will Work to the stretch, comes set. Here's a 3-2. That's swung on and fouled straight back. Good job of hitting by Harris to fight that off the handle of the bat. Softball game in the 6th inning. Atlantic up 7-1 there. We're in the bottom of the 5th here. Throw to first, not in time. It's good to keep that runner on, Jack, but we've seen a couple of throwing errors tonight that's allowed the runner to advance. Here's a 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, fouled straight back. Colin Harris hanging in there for the Trojans. Colin with that single here tonight. That was his 7th hit of the year. Struck out only 6 times. He's a tough out. Walked 8 before the game tonight. Then he walked his 9th time, his first time up. So he's 9 base on balls so far this season. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Atlantic with 2-1.
What a battle there by Colin Harris, the number 9 hitter. I mean, that was probably at least 9 pitches, I'd say. And it really sucks if you're on the mound and you don't get that one.
So Hudson McLaren will step in with 2 on and 2 down. Atlantic up 7-2. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the pitch coming in. Inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Trojans have runners at first and second with 2 down and a 5-run cushion over Shenandoah. Berdorf's pitch outside for a ball, 2-0. Hudson McLaren singled and scored the first. Drove in a run in the second with a base knock. Hit by a pitch and scored to the 4th. Now he has 2-1 with Rudy at second and Harris at first base here in the 5th. Throw to second, and they didn't get him. Good leadoff there by Rudy. And they weren't covering, but they had some good communication.
Definitely. It was close nonetheless. I mean, he was kind of running and caught it on the way to the bag. That was really close.
Very close. And here's the pitch coming. That's low and in. 3-0 the count. Now, Brody Berdorf falls way behind. He had a good start here with the 2 straight outs. Eli Cameron is now playing second base. Green is at third for Shenandoah, I believe. We'll make sure of that here in a moment. 3-0 the count with 2 on and 2 down. McLaren at the plate. Here's the pitch. That's a strike, 3-1. Colin Rudy at second. Colin Harris at first. Petty ground out, and Schmidt struck out, and then Atlantic got something going here with 2 down. 9-1 Atlantic in softball. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball to second. Scooped up by Cameron with the play at short. And that'll be it for Atlantic as Hudson McLaren grounds out on a 4-6 play there. Atlantic no runs on no hits, no errors, and they left the pair. We're through 5, Atlantic 7, and the Mustangs with 2. We're back here in a moment on 95.7 FM and our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com. Back right after these.
Pizza in Olson's BP in Atlantic. This June, grab a mini pizza and a 24-ounce fountain drink.
At Seed Pros, our mission is to be your business partner every day of every season.
Pioneer Hybrid International was founded in Iowa back in 1926 and is still American today. Not many other seed providers can make that claim.
We partner with you to continually push the limits by combining elite seed genetics, local infield knowledge, along with customer service second to none.
We are with you from the word go. Contact Mark Van Tiger, Gary Dinkla, Nick Knutson, or John Becker to partner with a team that puts your business needs first.
At Rolling Hills Bank and Trust, we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We've been dedicated to our communities for over 35 years. From real estate and ag loans to personal and commercial banking, we offer a full range of financial services tailored to meet your needs.
Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Great Valley Advisor Group and Oak Point Wealth Management are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Welcome back to Atlantic 7-2 Trojans. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Mustangs batting Levi Green, who's now playing third. He started the game on the hill. Jensen still going for Atlantic now through 5 and now 6. He throws a strike to Green. Green a ground out to short, and he walked back in the 4th. Atlantic up 7-2 We're in the 6th. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to short. Terrell drops it, but he fires. He's not going to get him. So an error by Atlantic, and Levi Green will able to leg it out. Just a routiner, and that one just kind of got caught under the webbing of the shortstop Sawyer Terrell, and good speed by Green getting down the line. I thought he might get him, but Green able to get down the line and get to first. One on and nobody down for Shenandoah.
Yeah, nice job sticking with him there. The only problem was he just wasn't in time.
Pitch inside. Yeah, I thought he had him, but boy, got to credit Levi Green for getting down the line. Green reached an error. He's 0 for 2, a ground out, a walk, and now on base with the E. Here's Brunk. That pitch is sliced foul, right side, 1-1 the count. Teagan, single. Back of the 2nd inning. Walked in the 4th and was a victim of a double play in that 4th inning. 1 on and nobody down, 7-2 Atlantic with the top of the 6th. On the hill, Jensen. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Coming in. Outside for a ball, 2-1 the count. Joey O'Rourke is scheduled to bat as well. He was part of that double play ball in the 4th inning. 2-1, swung on, and hit him. So he's going to say it hit him or he swung at it. They're going to say a foul ball, I believe. So that'll make a 2-2 count as Brooke was heading down to second. But the wrist is part of the bat. I think that's what happened there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brunk. Green the runner at first base with nobody down here at the top of the 6th. Atlantic up 7-2. 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 4 in the 4th. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Curveball missed in. Now a full count, 3-2. Green led off with the ground ball in the error. Brunk trying to drive him around here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, a fly ball to left. Petty is there. A couple of steps to his left and makes the catch. 1 out. For the Mustangs, not much work for Petty out there.
Grant Petty in left field. 1 away, a runner at first.
Green the runner at first base. Joey O'Rourke will step in. He caught looking at part of that DP. Double play. Back in the 4th. Boy, is that a beauty. Zane McManus on deck here in the top of the 6th. Atlantic up 7-2. Green leads at first. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. 2 runs for the Mustangs came in the 5th inning. As McManus, he led it off with a single. Here's a pitch to O'Rourke, low for a ball. McManus, who's on deck, led off with a single and went to second in a wild pitch. Then he scored on Dalton Athan's 2 RBI double, bringing home Scammon and McManus. 2-0 pitch, high for a ball, 3-0. Cale Mike getting a little weary here, Jack, top of the 6th inning. He's pitched a nice game. 1 on, 1 out. There's a pitch. Ike called inside edge, 3-1. O'Rourke not even going to bite there. He's taking all the way. 3-1 the count with a runner at first base here in the top of the 6th. Jensen in the stretch. Here's the 3-1 pitch coming in. Ball 4. 2 on and 1 out. Green will trot down to second. 3rd walk given up by Jensen tonight. 5 strikeouts. Zane McManus will step in. Right-handed batter, and on deck is Brody Burdorf with 7 now, the 7th hitter for the Mustangs, 7-2 Atlantic. And now we've got a timeout. Coach Schelling coming out. I believe we're going to have a pitching change, and it might be Gavin McLaren who will take the hill. And as we get that change, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We're back right after these at 95.7 FM in our live video stream, WesternIowaToday.com. So Gavin McLaren will take the hill, I believe, coming in.
private, elegant.
Olson's Outdoor Power is your one-stop service and equipment shop for all things outdoor. We sell the best power sports products in the business from Polaris, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and Ski-Doo, trailers to tackle any job from H&H, Triton, and Wilson, and we continue to lead the way in lawn and garden equipment with great products from Exmark, Dixie Chopper, Husqvarna, Cub Cadet, Steel, and Echo. Add factory-trained technicians in 2 locations, and it's easy to see why Olson's Outdoor Power is the leader in all things outdoor. Olson's Outdoor Power, your one-stop service and equipment shop with locations in Atlantic and Carroll.
First Winnie Bank is the longest standing locally owned bank in Atlantic, and as such, we take pride in how we serve our community. For generations, we have been involved with our customers and their families by getting involved in community events and by supporting technology and teaching financial literacy in our schools. You'll also see our support of athletics on the scoreboards at home events. It's this involvement that allows us to know our customers and their families for generations. First Winnie Bank, the only bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
Have you ever heard the saying, people spend their life building wealth and neglecting their health, only to wish they could trade their wealth for better health at the end? This is Dr. Fritz Beyer, and it has now been over 30 years since my first chiropractic adjustment. I still get asked, do you get adjusted? Absolutely. I try to get adjusted at least once a month. I'm 47 now and still try to stay as active as ever. While I do get a few more aches and pains than when I was younger, it feels great to be able to step on the mat and help kids learning to wrestle. Chiropractic has helped me feel young enough to do it. If staying active is part of your future plans, call 254-BODY to get your body back to the basics.
At 2nd Street Auto, it's our mission to get you back on the road fast. And it all starts with free local towing. Want your back at the shop? We talk you through your car repair with a free and fair estimate. We do everything in-house so you know who's working on your car. Our Hercules tires come with free road hazard repair, free rotation for the life of the tires, and a free alignment check. And nobody can beat our transmission rebuild and repair experts. Brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, preventative maintenance, and service work make 2nd Street your first stop.
Gab McLaren on the hill for the Trojans. Here in the top of the 6th inning, 2-1 and 1 out for Shenandoah. Atlantic up at 7-2, so Cale Jensen able to pitch 5 1/3 innings for the Trojans. Did a nice job for Atlantic. Now Gavin will take over. Zane McManus at the plate, the right-handed batter. Gavin McLaren into the stretch with 2 on, runners at first and second. Here's the pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to McManus. Struck out and singled in the 5th inning. Brody Burdorf, I should say, is on deck. Green at second. O'Rourke at first. That pitch is strike on the outside corner. Count 1-1. Well, Jensen had a good outing, Jack. He just kind of wore out here later on in the game. He had 3 walks. 1 hit batter, 1-1. High for a ball. 2-1 the count. Look good, just a little bit high. Talk about Gavin's numbers here.
Gavin McLaren with a 3.75 ERA on the season so far. He's done a great job behind the plate for this Atlantic Trojans team. And along with that, he has 9 strikeouts and 7 hits allowed, 5 earned runs, and 10 walks.
High fly ball left side out of play or in foul territory. Hudson McLaren made a nice play on that one. The third baseman goes over to make the catch on McManus. So now there's 2 down, a big out there for the Trojans with 2 on. Here's Brody Burdorf, the batter, with 2 on and 2 down. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball on the outside edge by McLaren. Eli Cameron on deck, the 9th hitter of the lineup. Burdorf 0 for 2. He struck out against Jensen and flew out to right. The 0-1 pitch coming up. Now he's going to run the runner back from second base. That's Green. Joey O'Rourke at first from the top of the 6th. Atlantic up 7-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2. So Gavin works ahead in relief. Trying to get the Trojans out of this. They were 2 on and 1 out. Now 2 on and 2 down. Gavin in the stretch. Burdorf at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 swings, 3 misses. And that'll be it for the Mustangs in the top of number 6. The Atlantic with a 7-2 lead as they go to the bottom half. We're back right after these at 95.7 FM. No one has.
At Outfitters Plus in Atlantic, you'll find all the latest in custom apparel and headwear. Head to Outfitters and work with the design pros to make your customized tees, team apparel, and personalized swag for your business a reality. Whether it's fan apparel for your high school or youth sports teams, your business, or you just want to make something your own, you'll have everyone saying, "Where'd you get that?" Don't forget, Outfitters will also add your group store online to make ordering a breeze. Get personalized at Outfitters Plus Outlet Store in Atlantic. Stop by today.
Atlantic as we go to the bottom half of the sixth inning, and Trojans up 7-2, but Shenandoah they got a chance. They've been putting some people on base. McLaren pitching in relief. And Atlantic coming up in the bottom half of the sixth looking for some insurance runs. Keel Jensen will bat. Then Gavin McLaren and Zayden Parker, Jack, but it's Trojans had a good start with 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 4 in the fourth inning. That was big.
Yeah, and I give all thanks to Cale Jensen on the mound for that Atlantic Trojans team. I mean, he just came in here, proved his prowess with 4 strikeouts, and now you've got Gavin McLaren coming in for him. We'll see what he can do on that defensive side.
Gavin with a strikeout to end that inning. In fact, he came in with 2 on and 1 out, was able to retire 2 straight to get out of there. So Jensen will step in, a walk, a strikeout, and our 2 RBI double to back in the fourth, that 4-run fourth. Fastball's a strike from Burdorf, and the count is 0-1 to Jensen. That was a big hit. The Trojans scored 4 runs on 5 hits in that inning to take a 7-2 lead. That's where we stand right now in the bottom half of the sixth. Here's the pitch on the way. That's low and in, and the count is 1-1. Trojans trying to make it a sweep. They defeated Shenandoah 8-7 back on June 5th. And a close one down at Sportsman. 1-1 the count to Jensen. Right, called outside corner, the sidewinder. He comes not exactly sidearm, but kind of a 3/4 inch delivery. And he always works out the stretch no matter what. 1-2. The pitch. That's a tapper foul. That's a sidearm throw right there from Burdorf. So Jensen and then McLaren and then Zayden Parker. So Atlantic in the meat of their order, 2, 3, and 4 to bat. Here in the bottom half of the sixth inning with a 7-2 lead. 7 runs on 10 hits. Here's the pitch. Curveball hit high and deep to center. Back goes eighth and back to the wall. It's gone. A home run. Cale Jensen gets a home run for the Trojans. A double to the fourth, and now a dinger in dead center field. That was a strike right there. Wow.
Beautiful hit there by Cale Jensen. Came off the mound and has a dinger to finish off the night. Have yourself a night, Cale Jensen.
No doubt about it. 11th hit for the Trojans. 8-2 Atlantic. Jensen with an RBI, 2 RBI double, now a home run here in the bottom of the sixth inning. And that one went deep and high into the night over dead center field, and an insurance run for the Trojans here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. So Gavin McLaren will step in, and Jensen, we've talked about what an addition he is, hitting .348 coming in, and he picked up his 12th RBI of the season. He has 3 RBI tonight, and his 2nd home run of the year for the junior. Strike called on Gavin McLaren, nobody on. Nobody out, 1 in. 8-2 Atlantic. 8 runs on 11 hits. The 0-1 pitch to Gavin on the way. Swung on and fouled straight back, 0-2. Zayden Parker, you talk about having yourself a night, Jack, is 3 for 3 with a 2 RBI. And he's on deck for the Trojans. They've gotten some good production here. And Gavin McLaren at the plate, he's got an RBI triple. Did that his last time up. Boy, he was a thing of beauty to watch run the bases with that 3-bagger. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch to Gavin McLaren. Low and away. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The team's leading batter hitting .368. Hitting his first triple of the season. He has 4 doubles to his credit. 10 singles. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gavin, the junior catcher, now pitching for Atlantic. Here's the pitch coming high and away. Oh, they called that a strike. Whoops. Strike 3 called on Gavin. Well,
for out number 1.
Not sure about that one, Jack, but Gavin handled it very well and
Right fielder.
turned and walked back to the dugout.
promptly walked away.
Yep.
And, I mean, that's all you can do.
All you can do. One out for the Trojans. Here's Aiden Parker, perfect on the night. Burdorf on the hill. Nobody on, one out for Atlantic and one in. 8-2 Trojans for the bottom half of the sixth inning. Down 1-0 to Aiden Parker. Sawyer Terrell is on deck for the Trojans. Here's the 1-0. Low for ball, 2-0 the count. Burdorf took over the fifth inning for Levi Green and went 4 complete. Aiden Parker, the center fielder at the plate. 2 RBI in the night. Here's the pitch, high and away. 2-1 the count to Aiden Parker. Here it is. High for ball, 3-1. Parker singled back in that first inning. Atlantic sent 6 to the plate in the first. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits. That pitch gets away, ball 4. So Parker goes to first.
Zayden Parker.
And the Trojans have a runner aboard.
Trojan shortstop
After Jensen's leadoff home run, McLaren called out on strikes, and now Zayden Parker with a walk. And here comes Sawyer Terrell at the plate. Terrell would ground out. Fielder's choice of third and struck out. 1-1 the count to Sawyer Terrell. Atlantic up 8-2. We're in the bottom half of the sixth. 8 runs and 11 hits. Parker leads away at first base for the Trojans here in the sixth inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That gets a, well, he called that a strike. And on his second base goes Aiden Parker on the wild pitch. It was called a strike, though. Count is 0-2. 1 on, 1 out. Runner at second base. The batter is Sawyer Terrell, right-handed hitter. Leading at second base is Aiden Parker here with 1 out. We'll see what Terrell can do. 0-2 pitch coming in. Went behind Terrell. Nice job by the catcher, Tyler Babe.
Yeah, that is a beautiful catch.
Yeah, that went on the other side of him. He's able to snag it before allowing Parker to get to third. Just 1 out for the Trojans. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's slowing away. 2-2 the count. It's getting late here, and the arms are getting a little bit tired. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the sixth, Atlantic up 8-2. 2-2 pitch. Dad called that a strike. Strike 3 called there. Now there's 2 down. And that'll bring up Grant Petty. Petty struck out a couple of times, and then he had a ground ball in the fifth inning. But he had a tremendous play, Jack, out in left field. On a line drive coming in, caught off his shoestrings for a big out as Shen was rallying there back in the fifth. Here's the pitch coming. Strike called to Grant. Parker at second base, 1 on and 2 down. And 1 in is Cale Jensen had a solo shot to lead off the frame. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball missed. 1-1 the count to Grant. Keston Smith is on deck for the Trojans. Petty hitting .229 coming in the game. 1-1 the count. Parker leads at second base. Here's the pitch on the way. Curve high and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Burdorf throwing a lot of pitches for the Mustangs. We're in the bottom half of the sixth. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch on the way. That's outside. 3-1. On deck, Keston Schmidt is singled back in the second inning. Ground out and struck out for the Trojans. Got 1 of the 11 hits for Atlantic. Here's a 3-1 offering. Parker leads at second base. Now we hit him. There we go. So Petty either hit by a pitcher, ball 4. Didn't get the motion there, but I think he was hit. So now there's 2 on and 2 down. Runners at first and second. Keston Schmidt will stand in. Atlantic up 8-2 in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Looking to put a couple more on here. That pitch is swung on, hit right at the third baseman, Eli Cameron. Actually, Green playing third now. Made the grab on the line drive. And that'll be it for the Trojans. But they got a run, and that was a loud one. Cale Jensen, a shot over dead center, lead off the sixth inning. Atlantic up 8-2, and they're 3 outs away from making it 4 out of 5. We'll be back right after these at 95.7 FM.
Looking for the ultimate place to host your party? It's time to roll into the Super Bowl on Highway 71 in Atlantic, the place to celebrate birthdays, family nights, or even date nights. Glow Bowling lights up your Friday and Saturday nights. We've got bumpers and ramps for the kiddos, and plenty of lanes for the grown-ups' bragging rights. Whether you're here to compete or just kick back and relax, the Super Bowl is where memories are made. Call Dan at 243-4656 to book your party today. The Super Bowl in Atlantic. Let the good times roll.
Gas prices got you down? Need a ride to work or the grocery store? There's public transportation for everyone in Southwest Iowa. SWITA offers taxi service in Atlantic, Glenwood, Harlan, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, and Shenandoah. $2.50 each way, or $2 for seniors 60 years and older. Just call 1-800-842-8065 or visit swita.com to schedule your ride.
7-2 lead, and they are 8-2 lead, excuse me, and they are 3 outs away from a victory. They've won 3 out of 4, and they'll go to work here. Gavin McLaren on the hill for the Trojans. Pitching in relief for Cale Jensen, who had quite a night. First pitch way outside for a ball. Count 1-0. Mustangs need some base runners. Eli Cameron leading it away, the ninth hitter in the lineup. Half swing and a strike, and the count 1-1. Then back the top of the order with Cole Scavin and Dalton Nathan. Their pitch is swung on and foul tipped right in the glove of the Trojan catcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Xander Killian, the guy behind the plate for the Trojans, a freshman. 1-2 the count. Here's Gavin. Kicks, fires, swung on, fouled straight back. Cameron tonight, to single to back of the third, was left at second base and caught looking on a pitch in the fifth. McLaren took over the sixth. Here's the 1-2 offering on the way, high for a ball. 2-2 the count. Gavin able to retire the side. He came in with 2 on and 1 out. Then he was able to get a pop-up and a strikeout to end the inning. 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3, 3-2 the count. Hudson McLaren is at third. Terrell at short. Harris at second. Jack Muller at first. The pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back. Count is full to 3-2. To Eli Cameron, the ninth hitter in the Shenandoah lineup. Cameron, the right-handed batter, hitting 167 coming in tonight's game. 3-2 pitch, swung on a chopper to third. Nice play by Hudson. Now he's got to get the throw. Whoa, what a gun! And he didn't get him. It was a good play. He had a short hop. He had a back step. And then he fired to first in a close play, but Cameron able to leg it out for an infield single. And the Mustangs get their leadoff hitter aboard here at the top of the seventh, Jack. But really a nice play by Hudson, and really a great throw as well.
Yeah, beautiful play, beautiful throw, and that could have gone either way in my opinion. That was very close at first base.
So 1 on it, nobody down for the Mustangs. We're the top of the seventh. Cole Scavin the batter. Trojans with an 8-2 lead. In the stretch, Gavin McLaren. He'll bring it. High for ball, gets away, and Eli Cameron will scoot to second on that wild pitch. Now the Mustangs have a runner in scoring position with nobody down here at the top of the seventh inning. 8-2. Atlantic with the big lead, but Shenandoah trying to get back in it here, Jack. So they have to give the umpire some new baseballs, and Killian goes out to talk to Gavin McLaren. We do have a courtesy runner at second base. We'll try to pick that up here in a moment. Leadoff batter Cole Scavin at the plate. He struck out and flew out to right. A right-handed hitter here at the top of the seventh. Atlantic up 8-2. 8 runs on 11 hits. 1 on and nobody down for the Mustangs. Here's the pitch, high for a ball. 2-0 the count. Trojans trying to get out of here. They need 3 outs for the win. 2-0. Strike call, beauty outside corner. Gavin just throws strikes. Throws fastballs, tries to hit the corners. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Swung on off the handle. That's going to be a foul straight back. Now the count is even at 2-2 to Scammon. Leadoff batter for the Mustangs. Shenandoah 6-9 coming into the game. And tonight, Atlantic 4-11. Trojans won the first outing back on the 5th, 8-7 down at Shenandoah. Scammon hitting .250 coming in tonight. 2-2 the count. That pitch is hit to right field. Coming in, Rudy makes the grab. There's one down.
Dayton Parker hauls in the line drive.
So that's going to be one out.
One away.
And here comes Athan. Dalton Athan in the game.
Center fielder, Dalton Athan.
Center fielder had a 2 RBI double back in the 5th inning. And left-handed batter for the Mustangs. 1 on and 1 out. We're the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch, swung on up the middle. That's going to bring home a run. Rounding third is Cameron. No, he's not going to score. They're going to hold him right there. Good throw back in. Now runners at the corners. So Cameron goes to third. Athan with the single. He's at first base. And the Mustangs need a lot of runners, so you can't blame Coach Roberts for putting the red light on him, Jack. They don't need to. An out here, they have 2-1 and 1 out. Down 8-2. Near the top of the 7th. Here comes Tyler Babe. Babe 0 for 3. He's made contact all 3 times. A couple of ground outs and a line out. Here's the pitch. Strike call. 0-1 the count. Top of the 7th. Atlantic with an 8-2 lead, but the Mustangs have runners at first and third. Here's the 0-1. High for a ball. 1-1 the count. Babe with the batter, and Levi Green is on deck for Shenandoah. McLaren works out the stretch. Runner at third is Cameron.
You're right there.
2 balls and a strike. That one out of the zone. Babe ground out to short, ground out to third, and line out to left. Here's the pitch, swung on, fouled straight back. That'll leave the count at 2-2. Trojans play Kemper tomorrow. That's going to be a makeup game. They beat Kemper 7-3 on Monday night. Hudson McLaren threw a gem. They didn't get the second game in. That pitch is fouled straight back. So they play midday tomorrow up at Carroll Stadium. Merchants Park, I should say. And they'll see if they can finish off that doubleheader. Hudson pitched a perfect game through 6 innings. He struck out 12 of the 18 batters in that Monday game. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Gavin McLaren.
Swing and a miss for out number 2.
So here comes Green.
Third baseman, number 10, Levi Green.
Green, who started off on the hill, now playing third. Ground out, walked, and reached on an error. 1 on and 2 down. There's the pitch. Slider. 1 on and 2 on and 2 down. The pitch is sliced foul. 0-1 the count. Atlantic up 8-2. We're in the top of the 7th. Trojans need an out. They're 1 out away from victory here. Gavin pitching in relief of Jensen. He'll work to the stretch. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming in. Swung on and missed. 0-2 the count out. Gavin 1 strikeout away from getting the save for the Trojans. Cameron at third. First base is Athan. Here's the pitch coming. There's a high fly ball left. Grant Petty's got his eye to the sky and makes the play. And that'll be it. Grant Petty makes the play in left field. And the Trojans seal the deal here on their home field tonight. And they'll be at Kemper tomorrow. Merchants Park to play the Knights. And the Trojans having a good week. A win on Friday, win on Monday. Fell short the Cardinals on Tuesday. They beat Griswold last night 15-5, and they top Shenandoah 8-2 and sweep the 2-game series with the Mustangs. The win back on June 5th, and the win here tonight. We'll be back to wrap things up, get some interviews. Atlantic with the win 8-2 over Shenandoah. We'll be back right after these on 95.7 FM or live video stream westerniowatoday.com.
Stein delivers more new genetics faster. Our focus on delivering higher yielding genetics faster than the competition is why we have released more new Enlist E3 lines in the past 5 years than any other seed company. For elite genetics paired with simple, flexible, and effective weed control, plant Stein Enlist E3 soybeans. Stein has yield. 45 years of yield. Learn more at steinseed.com.
Get ready for a fresh start at Greg Young Atlantic. Our Greg Young Fresh Start program helps you hit the road with confidence, overcome credit challenges with personalized financing, and a wide selection of great vehicles. Visit us today to find your brand new Chevy, GMC, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram, or check out our huge pre-owned selection at GregYoungAtlantic.com and GregYoungCDJRAtlantic.com. And to apply. Don't miss out on this incredible offer. Here at Greg Young, we go the extra mile for you.
At Oak Point Wealth Management, we're embracing new changes to better serve you. As an independent wealth manager, I'm excited to partner with LPL Financial, bringing you comprehensive tools and resources backed by personalized service and dynamic technology. My focus remains on helping you achieve your financial goals with integrity and care. Visit oakpointwealth.com or call me, Erin Friend, at 712-207-3521 to learn more.
Visit www.oakpointwealth.com, 712-207-3521 to learn more about how Oak Point Wealth Management can help you pursue your financial goals.
So they win this one by the score of 8-2. Atlantic scored 2 runs in the first inning on 2 big hits. Hudson McLaren led off the inning with a single. Then Cale Jensen walked. And Zayden Parker had an RBI single. And Sawyer Terrell an RBI ground ball. Atlantic jumped out to a 2-0 lead. They added to that in the second inning. They scored another run in that frame, an RBI single by Hudson McLaren, scoring Keston Smith, who led off with a single. Atlantic led at 3-0. Then in the fourth, they plated 4 more runs on 5 hits. Getting into the action, Colin Rudy led off with a single. Colin Harris followed with a base knock. Hudson McLaren hit by a pitch. And then Cale Jensen a 2 RBI double, driving home 2. Gab McLaren stepped in, an RBI triple, bringing home Cale Jensen. And then Zayden Parker, an RBI single. He brought home Gavin McLaren. And that's how the Trojans opened up that 7-2 lead. In the meantime, the fifth inning was good for the Mustangs. They scored 2 runs on 2 hits there. The big hit was Dalton Nathan with the 2 RBI double. So 7-2 Atlantic through 5. Atlantic able to plate a run in the bottom half of the 6th, and that was a Cale Jensen home run. As we look at the hits tonight, Hudson McLaren, he went 2 for 3 with a hit by a pitch, and Cale Jensen 2 for 3. He walked his first time up, otherwise a 2 RBI double, and he had a home run for Atlantic. Gavin McLaren ended up with an RBI triple in the ball game, and Zayden Parker in that 4th spot. What a night he had. He was 3 for 3 with a walk and 2 RBI. Also for the Trojans with hits here, Keston Smith had a single, Colin Rudy had a single, and Colin Harris had a single for Atlantic. When you look at the Shenandoah Mustangs, they scattered some hits early in the ball game. Tegan Brunk ended up with a single in the second inning. Otherwise, Cale Jensen did a great job on the hill. Dalton Nathan actually led the team with a 2 RBI double and a single in the ball game. And Tegan Brunk had a single back in the second inning. Also, Zane McManus had a single in the 5th and 2 hits coming from Eli Cameron in that 9th spot, but not enough. At Shenandoah with the win tonight, or Atlantic with the win tonight over Shenandoah by a score of 8-2. Jack, your comments.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any spot in this broadcast you want to rewind to, maybe it's on YouTube or westerniowatoday.com, it's that bottom of the 4th inning. I mean, you thought it was over when Cale Jensen went to left center field with that 2 RBI double, and then you had Gavin McLaren turning on the wheels, sliding into third for a triple into right center. But like I said, Cale Jensen, what a night for him. He started off on the mound hot, and in the first inning he had that walk. And then he had that 2 RBI double, and then he sends 1 yard dead center field for a home run. I mean, a great job on the defensive side, on the hill, and on the offense. Cale Jensen, once again, have yourself a night.
There you go. Atlantic 8-2 win. They'll play Kemper at noon tomorrow. That second game of the doubleheader being made up at Merchants Park. For Jack McKee, I'm Tom Robinson. Thanks for joining us for our broadcast tonight. Our next one will be from Clarinda on Tuesday. We'll have the softball game with Atlantic second time around against the Cardinals from Clarinda, and we'll have the broadcast. Our pregame show will get underway around 7 o'clock or a little after, with that first pitch coming up at around 7:30. For Jack McKee, I'm Tom Robinson. Again, the final score from Atlantic Hawkeye 10 Conference Baseball, the Trojans 8 and the Mustangs 2. Thanks for joining us and good night.